Hey everybody, Kevin from the Emergence.website again with another continuing Classroom Classics Tai Chi video for you, move 21. This move is the move right after fist under elbow, and it's a series of moves, step back to ward off monkeys. So lots of stuff to cover on this, of course. It's another series, but we're going to break it down, give you the details, give you some little pointers on it. So hang in there, we'll be right back. Okay, let's get right into it here. The step back to ward off monkeys, I commonly refer to them as repulse monkeys. Depending on who I'm working with, they could be repulsive monkeys. But the interesting thing about these is everybody has a little bit of trouble. Like going backwards, it's kind of like doing brush knees in reverse, you know, going backwards with them. Of course it's different, but it's a little bit tricky to be moving backwards for a lot of people. So we're going to try and address some of those issues, how to improve your balance and stuff. So we're going to start with the feet, and we're going to work our way up. And try and go through this. Like I said, there's lots of stuff to cover. I don't want to take forever doing this, but we will go through it as quickly and cleanly as possible. Okay, from the fist under elbow, you got your heel down, you've got your toyu step. So 45 degrees on the back foot, straight ahead with the left foot, and the toe is slightly lifted. So you don't want to have it cranked up, but it's relaxed, but the toe is up. So the heel, there's a little bit of pressure on the heel to stabilize the hips. Now this is going to be very similar foot position when you're stepping back. So when you're doing the repulse monkeys, you're going to have the same foot position, except you'll be on the toe. So you'll have this foot will be slightly ahead of the other, but it's the toe touching, not the heel. The first part of it, so you're sitting in the right leg, the heel is touching, your arms are in front, your body's upright. You don't want to be leaning forward and pushing it. You want the body upright, balanced in the hips, and the weight in the leg. Now what's going to happen first is notice that I'm squared forward, that nothing really happens with the feet other than as you drop the right hand, start to stand up and express the arms out. The left foot, as you come up, goes from the heel to the toe. And that'll just help you keep a little bit stable. I'll talk about something else, what happens, where your weight should be and stuff, but to begin with, to keep that contact. So as you come up, that toe stays in contact, and that helps you stabilize to get up. So you want to push right up through the top of the head. As you come up to the top, that's when you step. And when you step, you want to step straight back in line with your left arm. So the foot goes back, straight back. Don't swing it around behind you. Don't turn as you step. Just step back and stretch forward. You want to keep the weight balanced in the right leg. When you come up, you open, and you get to the top, and you step. So don't swing and turn. Step straight back, and it's just a little step. It's not a long step back. You just want to keep your weight balanced in the right leg, and notice my weight doesn't shift as I step. Okay, and it's kind of like being on a tightrope. So you can be the monkey on the tightrope, I guess. But really, this foot is stepping back in a line, and then the foot turns and plants. So you come up and open, you step back, and you put the toe touches, and then you turn the foot to step back to the 45. Now notice it's not right behind like a pakwa step, because when you pivot this foot on the toe, you end up with your toyu 45 degrees straight ahead with one foot on either side of the line. If you turn and step around behind, so you got like a pakwa step, when you straighten this foot out, you're instepped. So you want to make sure that when you step back in a straight line with the toe touching, and then turn the foot and put it down, and then you will turn and pivot on the toe to straighten it out for the first repulse monkey. Observe. Fist under elbow, you come up, open, palm up on the backhand, step back, put the foot at 45, push from that toe as you pivot and bring the backhand to the front. So notice I haven't started sitting yet. Once the hands come forward and that foot is straight, then you sit down and this hand pulls down to the bottom. So you want to get the feet in place first, get your balance, and then you'll sit down. Again, come up, notice I turn to the right as I stand up. So as this hand goes back, my body just naturally turns and opens up to the right. I don't turn as I step. I just move the leg back and keep this forward hand pushing out. So the left hand keeps forward, I step back, plant the foot, and then as I push from the front toe, I drop my right elbow, bring the hand to the front. Now notice my body is turning now to the left, and then as I sit down, I want to sit into both hips, and the left hand pulls down to the right hip. So this is again this equal opposite, so like this action. So we're doing a one-legged danyu with the equal and opposite, that reeling silk exercise. And then I turn and square to the front somewhat. You don't want to twist your hips here and there. You just let the body, let the arms lining up into position will actually just allow your body to turn to the front. And then when you stand up for the next one, you open up and notice my body turns to the left. I'll move the right foot back, turn the foot to 45, and then I push from the left toe, turn the foot, and bring the arms to the front. Then I'll sit down and square. So the body does this gentle turning, so very much like this exercise. So up, and you'll step back with the toe, plant the foot at 45, push from the front toe, straighten the foot out on the pivot, and then sit down. So that's the basic idea. Now, you'll also notice that, like in the fist under elbow, I keep this foot in contact. So the heel's in contact. As I come up, I have the toe in contact, and then I'll move back. And then when I turn and sit here, the toe is touching. So just a slight bit of pressure. Like I said before, you're holding a mouse down by the tail with your toe. So you don't want to lose all the weight. You just got the mouse there. Now when I come up here, you just sort of let the leg relax as you stand and open. And then you can step back. So this is sort of the stop and go version. So down, then up, step, pivot, the arm comes forward, and then sit down. Now that's stop and go, so piecing it up, breaking it down one little chunk at a time. Now as you get a little more comfortable with your balance, you want to be able to have all the weight in your supporting leg, so when you come up, you're going to move the foot back so it touches at the same time you get to the top, so that then you can push from the front toe and then sit down. So there's this constant push from one leg and then keep pushing from that toe. So here I'm going to stand up, I'm going to push my right leg, I'm going to step so I can continue to push from the right toe, turn, line it up, and sit down. So you want to keep the attention forward, so your focus is forward when you're going through the moves. So up, step, pushing from the toe, sit down. Up and turn, step, push from the toe, and sit down. So you can get the timing so that you're pushing from the leg, get the foot in place, and continue to push from that toe and sit down. It takes a little bit of practice to keep that continuous pushing. So you stand up, and then when you push from the toe, it just keeps you going up. And then when you get everything lined up, then you sit down and relax. So yeah, lots and lots of practice with this. And you may find like you're wobbling around on a tightrope. It's not easy to be focused forward and stepping back. If you are doing this kind of thing, so if you're leaning forward as you push, when you stand up, you're going to be sort of tipped. So you want to make sure the body's upright, slight angle, but when you push up, you want to push up through the top of the head and keep the weight focused in that right leg. So there should be no pressure in this foot at all as you're coming up. It's just the leg is relaxed. If you can do it with no weight in that balanced toe, so you can step as you come up and then keep the push going and then sit down. So my left leg is pushing, I step and I keep pushing from that left toe and then sit down. So it's a very interesting focus trying to keep that connection and that drive coming out of there. And it works the spine in an interesting way. But it also helps you pay attention to where your balance is and getting the push to come up through the top of the head. Just trying to think if there's anything more I can throw in there just to load it on your plate. The thing with the stepping, if you can really focus on keeping it in line with that lead arm. So when you come up and keep that helps everything to just open, and it keeps things balanced, keeps things stable. As soon as you start to lean, come up so you're sort of tipped forward, and then you're kind of falling back onto that foot, that's usually one of the reasons why we have balance problems with this move, is not being upright. So you want to be able to come up, but keep the balance here. As soon as you start falling back, then your balance is shifting on you. So yeah, just work on keeping the weight balanced in the leg, using the leg to push and come up. So it should be very, very light, very relaxed, and just put the foot back and then push from the toe, line it up, and relax. So yeah, we can do a little bit of follow through now, and I'll do it facing away from you, so as if you were behind me following along, so you can watch me as we go, and then we'll do it sideways so you can see. And then I have something else I want to talk about that we had a bit of a question from one of our viewers, so I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to go this way, and then we're going to go towards you. So starting with fist under elbow. So you're on the heel, fist under elbow, and stand up and open, turn to the right, step back with the left toe, place it at 45, push from the right toe, come up some more, hands in front, then sit down. Left hand under, pulling down to the right hip. Push up, open, step back, push from the toe, sit down. Right hand comes down to the left hip. Push up, step back, touch the toe, put the foot at 45, pivot on the front toe, line it up, and sit down. So that's the 3 repulse monkeys in the set. Definitely find yourself a strip of property somewhere where you can go down a hallway or down a room and practice lots, much like we do with the brush knees. Do a whole series of them, because that'll really help you get the flow of going through that move and pushing from the legs. So from fist under elbow, once again, push up and open, turning to the right, step back, pivot on the toe, straighten up, sit down and separate the hands. Open, step, pivot, sit down. Push up, step, pivot, up, sit down. Okay, one more time. Fist under elbow. So drop the hand and up with palm on the back. Sit down. Push from the left leg. Step. Push from the left toe. Up and sit down. Push from the right leg and open. Step. Push from the right toe and sit down. So it doesn't have to be a low sit, but just let everything relax into the hips and into the leg. So let's do it from this direction. Fist under elbow, up and open, turning to the right, step, push from the toe, line up the arms, sit down. Up, step, push from the toe, line it up, sit down. Push up and open, step, push from the toe, sit down. Okay, one more time. Maybe 2 more times, Shelley says. Just under elbow. So just touching with the heel, and push up, step, push from the toe, sit down. One more, step, push, sit down. So see if you can discover the timing on this. So the timing of when you're stepping and the timing of the arms as you sit. You're separating the hands as you sit down, so that one hand is going forward and the other is pulling in, so they get to the bottom at the same time, much like we do a Donny, where we sit down, the hands press down, and you get to the bottom as you get to the bottom of your sit, and then you get to the top as you stand. So this is similar kind of timing with the repulse monkeys. So up and open as you get to the top, the arms are open, step, push, line it up, and then as you sit down, get to the bottom, then you push from the leg and open. Step, line it up. So the timing of the arm coming through as you pivot the front foot. So pivot and the arm comes through, lines up, and then you can just sit down. So lots and lots of practice. This is a good one to do just rows and rows of repulse monkeys. So you can do brush knees one way down the room and repulse monkeys back the other way. Now, I said I was going to talk about a comment that somebody had made. This person was talking about doing the low punches, the bow at the beginning of the set, needle at C-bottom, stuff like that. And apparently what happens is when this person goes down, it triggers vertigo. And so they were asking if they should just eliminate those moves or cut them out or skip them or something. You don't have to do that. You can still do the move, but you don't have to go down. One of our students just had some eye surgery, so obviously with that you want no pressure going into the head or anything. So it's a very similar thing with this, is when you do those low moves, for example the bow, just use the arms. Don't, even though it's a good stretch and everything, but if you're having problems like that, you can modify it. So if you're going to do the bow, come up and then just drop the hands. So it's the same action, same connections in the body, you're just not going down so low. Doing the low punch. So you're coming through, fist comes through, so just do a toyu and let the arms drop down. You don't have to drop the head down, and then you'll go into turn and chop with fist. Same with doing the kicks, the separation kicks. So from high pat on horse, just do a toyu. Let the arms reach down, and then come up and push. So the idea is you're still getting the circulation going through, and just like a toyu, when you push out with a toyu, you want to push up through the top of the head, stretch out through the top of the head, out the fingers, out the palms. So punching low, it's a different kind of stretch where you're relaxing down into the leg, but you don't have to go really low. And so if it's triggering vertigo, or you're having problems with your eyes or any of those kind of things, for sure you can modify it. So talk to your instructor, of course. Let them know what's going on. And they might have some suggestions. They're the ones that are working with you. If you're not working directly with an instructor, then this is what I would suggest: is just keep doing the move, but just modify how low you let the head go down. So hopefully that helps, and there might be some other people having similar problems, so hopefully that helps everybody out there. So yeah, practice your monkey on the rope tricks, and check out the website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care, and we will see you next week. I'm off to a workshop this weekend, so take care, and maybe we'll have some stuff to share with you when we get back from that. Okay, take care, bye.